On this day in music history, June 21st, some days hum quietly in the background, others roar with rhythm. June 21st is one of those days where music didn't just play, it moved, transformed, and left its mark on generations of listeners and creators alike. Johnny Cash makes his chart debut. On June 21st, 1955, with Cry, 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 Johnny Cash stepped into the spotlight and onto the country charts for the first time. The song's raw honesty and driving rhythm introduced a voice that would come to define American roots music. It wasn't just a debut, it was the beginning of a legacy built on grit, grace, and truth. Ritchie Blackmore leaves Deep Purple and forms Rainbow. On this day in 1975, guitarist Ritchie Blackmore walked away from Deep Purple and formed Rainbow. The move signaled a new chapter in hard rock, blending classical influences with heavy riffs and theatrical flair. Rainbow's arrival added a new color to the rock spectrum, one that still shines in the genre's evolution. Steely Dan disbands. June 21st, 1981 marked the end of an era when Donald Fagen and Walter Becker disbanded Steely Dan. After nearly a decade of crafting jazz-infused rock with razor-sharp lyrics and studio perfectionism, they stepped away from the project. Their absence left a void, but their influence lingered in every carefully layered track that followed. John Lee Hooker passes away. On this day in 2001, the blues lost one of its most powerful voices when John Lee Hooker died at 83. From Boogie Chillin' to Boom Boom, his hypnotic grooves and deep, growling vocals shaped the sound of electric blues. He wasn't just a performer, he was a force, a storyteller who turned pain into poetry. Glen Campbell announces Alzheimer's diagnosis. On June 21st, 2011, Glen Campbell revealed through a heartfelt story in People magazine that he had been diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. Rather than retreat, he chose to face it head-on, embarking on a farewell tour and recording his final album, Adios. It was a brave, vulnerable act from a man whose voice had long carried the ache and beauty of American life. His announcement turned a personal struggle into a public moment of grace and courage. June 21st has given us some unforgettable talents, artists who've shaped the soundscape in their own unique ways. Ray Davies, 1944, frontman of the Kinks, whose songwriting captured the wit and melancholy of British rock. Joey Kramer, 1950, drummer for Aerosmith, laying down the thunder behind decades of rock anthems. Brenda Holloway, 1946, Motown singer with a velvet voice and a string of soulful hits. Joey Moland, 1947, guitarist for Badfinger, one of the first bands signed to the Beatles' Apple label. From the Man in Black's first chart climb to Glen Campbell's final bow, June 21st has been a day where music didn't just echo, it resonated. And as the years roll on, these moments continue to remind us why we keep listening. Music doesn't just mark time, it gives it meaning. And on June 21st, that meaning plays on.